Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy Ethan. Welcome back to another video. Hope you're having a great day. San Diego tour continues. The Cali Casino tour continues, and we're right outside, I almost said Boston Billiard. We're right outside Ocean's 11 Casino. I was told to check it out, and we're under a really big tent. So I just walked through the place. It's pretty cool, really packed. So I guess lots of action to be found here. It's like an hour in between LA and San Diego. So could have checked this place out before, but here we are now. Seems cool. There's just a lot of tables going on. The wait lists are pretty deep. I'm on the 2-5, and it's nice. 2-5 is an $800 cap. The 5-5 and the 5-10. They don't. I think the only game they have is a 5-10-20. But I think I'm the only person on that wait list. So you kind of just put our names on it, just for the hell of it. But yeah, it's awesome. I love the palm trees in the background. It's just San Diego and Cali is beautiful. Anyways, hoping to hop into the action soon. This trip has gone pretty well for me so far. So if you continue this run good, that'd be great. While waiting for the 2-5 game, we hop into the 2-3 where it's a $400 max, and first hand here, ace queen off in the small blind playing six-handed. Under the gun opens it up to $20, and here in the small blind, really unsure how these players play yet, so with that said, we're just going to flat in the small blind out of position, no need to raise it up. Heads up to the flop, which comes ace 6-4, 2 diamonds, and a club. I check, and he c-bets $25. We can certainly go either way with this, either going for the check raise or just flat calling. Here, I decided to just make the call and evaluate a turn. Turn comes the king of clubs, brings in the backdoor flush draw, and also pretty good for us as it eliminates combos of ace-king. Once again, I check. Now he throws out a bet of $50. With that said, he's got about $200 behind, and I think I can definitely raise for value against ace-jack or ace-10. But in this instance, like I said, it's the first hand that we're playing, unsure of what this range is like. Also, when he raises the $20 in the 2-3 game, so I decided to just flat and play a little bit passive in this hand. Going to a river, which comes another king. Once again, I check, and he insta-bets $100. Do I think I can go for thin value here and put him all in since he only has $100 behind? Folding is certainly out of the question, and here pretty much with the best kicker out there, I decided to make the jam, rip it all in there. If he has a king, then so be it. We would have just totally valued ourselves, but hoping to get a call from a weaker ace, but he thinks about it and ends up folding, unfortunately. Not sure why he's betting half of his stack on the river and folding to a jam, but we'll take this one down. Following hand, picking up ace-jack in the cutoff with an under-the-gun straddle. Folds to me, and I open up the action at $25. Only the straddler makes the call. He seemed to be playing a wide amount of hands so far early on in this session. Flop comes king, king, 5, 2 diamonds. He checks to me, and I decide to c-bet on this board texture with ace-jack high to $20. He snap calls, so I'm thinking it's probably weakness when he makes a really quick call here. Maybe a 5 or maybe some sort of a draw. The turn comes the 7 of spades. He checks, and given the fact that I think he has a pretty weak hand, I decided to bet once again for $45. Once again, he snap calls, so pretty strange development. We'll see what happens on the river. The river is a king, and weird enough, he actually leads out for $75 now. And I'm thinking, is there any chance he's bluffing with a missed flush draw? Because really everything did break out. Is he doing this with a pair of 5s that turned into a boat? I'm entirely confused, and I don't know what to do. Early on in the session, folding seems a little boring, so let's just hero it off with ace-jack high. We make the call. He shows us pocket 9s for a pretty strong hand here, and this was quite the punt, but we're moving on. Next hand after that, we're in the big blind with pocket queens, once again with the under-the-gun straddle on board. There's one limper, and the small blind raises it up to $18. On to me, in position. This is the same player from last hand who's been playing a very wide range. Let's definitely put in that 3-bet, and we size to $60. The on-the-gun player, now onto him. He cold calls my 3-bet of 60, and he's a pretty short stack as well, less than $100 in front. So when the small blind folds, we're going heads up to a flop, out of position, and he's pretty short. The flop comes ace, 8, 6, 2 clubs and a spade. Ace-high flops are really not ideal with pocket queens, but whatever. We decide to c-bet our range. We can definitely get value from sometimes 8x's, some club draws, all that stuff. So I sized to $45, pretty small here, and this under-the-gun player makes the call with about $100 behind. The turn comes the jack of spades, brings in the backdoor flush draw, and now on this board texture, I don't know how much value we can get from worse hands here, so we decided to check. Unfortunately, he's ripping it all in for $96 total. Really unfortunate, but this board texture is super draw heavy. Obviously, we're behind by a lot from any ace, but the amount is pretty small. If we're going to punt off with ace-jack, we might as well just punt off with pocket queens. I'm uncomfortable with it, but we make the call. We're off to a river. The river comes the 7 of diamonds, and I'm uncomfortable with my hand, but he shows us pocket 9s? Alright, we'll take this down with queens on an ace-high board. Not entirely sure if he was turning his hand to a bluff of some sort, but we'll take this one down, making a very fishy call. Next, we've got 5, 7 of diamonds in +1. We've been playing for a little bit now, and we've noticed it's a very passive table. With that said, I open up the action to $15 from early position, widening up my range, and the big blind makes the call. Off to a flop, which comes King 7-3 Rainbow. Pretty dry flop, and with middle pair, good enough for a c-bet, I think. So when he checks to me, I throw out a bet of 20, and this player snap calls, and we're off to a turn. Turn comes the 10 of diamonds, brings in our backdoor flush draw, and once again he checks. Do I want to bet my equity? I think we do. This player doesn't seem like he's the type to be check raising too often. So with that said, we size a little bit smaller here to $35. Really good equity. Not thinking that I'm ahead, but let's try to build a pot. With this $35 bet, he thinks and calls. Off to a river, hoping to improve. River comes the 5 of hearts. Very, very disguised 2-pair at this point, and once again he checks. Let's try to get some value out of this from a King X hand, maybe some sort of 10X hand, I'm not entirely sure, but here we size to $75 purely for value and hope to get a call from 1 pair. He thinks about it for about 40 seconds or so and ends up putting in the call. We show our hand, take this one down, and that's the last hand we'll play at 2-3.
So we're outside for the little mid-session update. We just got called in for the 2-5 game, so we're going to take that seat, max of $800. We played 2-3 for only an hour. We got a lot of hands in there in an hour. So we were in for 400, out for 10-12. Pretty good hour there. The 2-3 game was pretty good for the most part. Now we're going to hop into 2-5. It's an $800 max. So hopefully we can continue running well. We didn't really play perfect or amazing in that 2-3 game. I'll be quite honest, that ace-jack was quite the punt, but we made up for it and chipped back up pretty much the whole time, which is really nice. So really good start to the night. Let's see if we can keep it up at 2-5.
Moving on to the 2-5 game, max buy-in of $800. This first hand here, pocket jacks in the big blind, playing 6-handed. We get an under-the-gun player who opens it up at $20. He's got about $700 in his stack. The cutoff makes the call, who's also pretty short, and action folds to me. 6-handed is kind of our bread and butter, something we're really comfortable with, and easy 3-bet spots. So with that said, I decided to size up to $100 here. We're out of position facing 2 players. The under-the-gun player who raised folds. Now the cutoff jams his entire stack in there. Like I said, he's pretty short, so it's only 170 total. This is an easy snap call, and we are off to a runout. The runouts isn't great, but we do have an overpair on a very connected board, and he shows us Queen Jack of Hearts for the nice runner straight. Oh boy, we need some chips. We're adding back on. Shortly after the loser with jacks, we pick up 10-9 of diamonds on the big blind, playing 7-handed. We love playing these suited connectors, and there's a whole lot of limping going on because there are 5 whole limpers to me. With that said, we can go either way with this. We can go higher variance or lower variance. With this action and passive action, let's bump it up, and I raise it up to $55. We don't get a lot of folds here in California poker because there are 4 callers around. Absolutely action central here. Raise to 55, and we got a lot of action going on here. So 5 ways to a flop, and the pot has ballooned. Flop comes 7-3-3-2 diamonds. When action checks to me, sitting with 10 high, we do have the flush draw. We can certainly just check for pot control, but I think we can put a lot of pressure on 7x holdings. If we run into someone that has a 3, that is just very unfortunate. But here, I lead out for $155 like I would do with my entire value range. When I put out the 155, the player in +1, who's an older woman, jams her whole stack in there for $565 total. Folds around to me, and I am just really in a terrible spot. This jam is always for value. It is at a bare minimum, I think, a 3. Do we want to gamble here? With 1K in the middle, we're getting 2.5 to 1 on a call for $400 left. Not really great. It's a very unprofitable call, especially with only the 10 high flush draw. Maybe if we have the nut flush draw, probably better to stick in some chips in here, but we can just gamble, play high variance, go for stacks here. So folding is boring. You guys don't like seeing folds on the vlog. Tossing the chip. Let's go for it. Let's try to hit a diamond. The turn comes the queen of diamonds. Let's freaking go. We love that. The river is an ace of spades, and she shows us ace 3 of hearts. Fuck. Dealer, need some more chips, man. Here to reload. Quite the punt, but yeah, we need more chips. We add on some more chips, back up to 800, and the very next hand we get dealt, we have pocket 7s in the small blind. There are 3 limpers to me once again, and if we're going to raise 10-9 of diamonds, we're certainly raising pocket 7s here. So we put in the raise to $55, and now this time, another player, the player that jammed Queen Jack suited, he jams once again, the good old limp jam of $270. It folds to me, and this is 3 hands in a row. We're going to go all in, huh? We're racing for sure, and let's just go for a flip. If we are putting in $400 to make an unprofitable call, we'll at least put in like $200 for a flip. So we're down piles at this point. Let's just go for it. Make the call. We're off to a run out.
Jesus Christ.
The flop comes ace high. It's really not great for us. And he shows us ace jack. Of course he has it. Chips, once again, we need it. So we've only been playing 2-5 for 30 minutes. We're in for 2,000. We need to run it up somehow. Next hand in, king 7 of diamonds on the button, playing 6-handed. There's an ungun player who limps. Next player raises it up to $20. He's got about $2,000 in his stack. I'm only sitting at 800. The cutoff makes the call, and now we're on the button. It's a suited king. Why not put in the 3-bet? Let's put in some ultra aggression and really play this for no reason. Not a clue as to why I'm 3-betting, but we sized to $80. And why am I not surprised that the raiser and cutoff player is going to make the call here? We're going 3 ways to a flop. Flop is ace king 4 2 spades, and action checks to us. The ace high board's pretty decent. Flopping the second pair with the king is also not too bad. We decide to play this hand face up here and decide to check. We have showdown. We don't have to keep putting stacks in all the time. Let's see a turn. Turn comes the 4 of spades. Once again, action checks to me, and I think this is a mandatory bet now. We're chopping against any king, and we definitely have to charge for some of the spade draws here. So I decided to bet $125. Both players fold pretty quickly, and we can't lose every single hand. Let's try to crawl back here. All right, we get into another one. We're on the button with king-queen off. I opened things up to $20. The small blind makes the call for 20, and the big blind jams for $125. There's a very small, slim chance that I fold here. There's absolutely no chance I'm folding king queen off, actually. So we make the call because why not? Let's play another all-in pot. Small blind gets out of the way, and we are off to a run out. The flop is king high, which is really good for us. The run out is clean, I think. We show our king queen off, and we're up against ace jack of clubs. So we're going to take this one down, chipping up stack by stack.
Hey guys, we're going to be wrapping up this video today right now, making this a two-part series because there's just a whole lot that you guys have not seen yet. There's a lot that happened today. So we're gonna crawl out of the hole that we dug ourselves in and find a way to claw back, but there are some epic big hands coming soon. So if you're watching this, stay tuned for part 2. That'll come in pretty much 2 days. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for making it to the end of this one. I've never done a 2-part video before, so let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. But this session was just monstrous and I couldn't fit it all into one video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this part 2. It's gonna be even more epic and I can't wait to share the hands with you guys. So yeah, stay tuned.